There we go. This is the van on the outside. Real basic steel wheel with plastic hubcap. Lights. Oh, charge port. I don't know how you open that. We'll have a look from the inside. Got some little daytime lights. Indicators on the rear vision mirrors. One sliding door only on the curb side. No windows. Got a light. Nice flat plain floor. Can't see any spare tyre. Maybe that's underneath. The barn doors that open at the back that can fold all the way back, so you can put large objects in. And you can open the other one, I guess, there. That's cool. Oh, that one, oh yeah, no, that goes back, but there's a notch there that it sits in. So that's cool. So it's very practical for a work van. Got a hard border. It was real quiet on the inside while driving it. It's very nice. Got some tie down loops in various places to tie stuff down. Yeah, pragmatic. No windows, just got steel. Oh, hang on, I'll quickly do a lie down test. Yeah, so I can lie down. I've got about 8 centimeters above my head and 10 centimeters at the base of my feet. So in terrible mixed units, 6 feet and it's about 6 feet 6 inches, maybe 6 feet 4 inches, something like that. What's that? 2 meters. Yeah, about 2 meters of length from there. So you could lie down. So you could use it for a camper van, basically, if you wanted to hide in the back. Oh, and you got a door handle in the back to open the door from the inside. It's handy. You have to the rubber sponge is quite spongy, so you have to be very firm with that. Yeah, overall, perfectly practical vehicle. Brake light up there, and there's a little reversing camera under there. So this is the entertainment unit. It's got different, so your radio, CarPlay, QD Link, whatever that is, Bluetooth, music. I guess you can play stuff off your music. Settings. I was trying to see if there was like an energy setting thing. You can set how long the lights stay on for when you lock the car and things, which is kind of cool. But I was looking for like a battery how much power is left in the battery or something like that, or range estimates, or navigation. It's quite cold today, so it's 9 degrees maybe outside. Yeah. And here's the dash. So we've got the tire pressure warning up. One of the tires is a bit low, and normal speed, and your battery fullness gauge. And so let's see if we can clear mode. There are buttons on the steering wheel. There's a eco mode there as well. Maybe you press that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so there's the range to 146 kilometers, and it's what, 80% full maybe. The guy in the shop reckoned that you could get 240 kilometers out of it in regular New Zealand style driving a mix of around town and on the highway. So this van's only driven 352 kilometers since it was built. Yeah, here's the gear selector. It's very simple. You just turn that around. Got normal air conditioning and very simple buttons there. I think these are for cards for recording your trips. Some countries you have to have vehicle logging, and it's a shiny. I can see myself in the reflection. Got hard plastics everywhere. The seats are nice though. The seats have a nice armrest, and they're quite firm, and that's the price for the different sizes in New Zealand dollars. Got some cup holders down there, got an iPad holder down there, got some places to put your phone or something. There's a USB there. It's very simple. Got a normal power outlet there and a USB there. Yeah, it's a good straightforward normal work vehicle. And on the outside, oh yeah, key. It's just got normal key. It's all very simple. Brake, accelerator. Looking all around for like a release catch, so it's just
give it a bit of a push, yeah.
Yeah, and then flick that up, and then you've got your sockets under there. That's cool. That's right. Then I can just show people. And that one is for the DC. Yeah, good. Yeah, that makes sense. And then this done. Perfect. So here's some supplementary notes and afterthoughts about the van after having driven it and dropped it back off. So you need to know how far you can go and how you'll charge it and what that will cost. So how far can you go? There's two different sizes of batteries for this van, and the 35 kilowatt hour is what I drove, and it is rated at 227 kilometers, and the larger battery is 344 kilometers. This is based on the WLTP, which is a type of driving style program that allows car manufacturers to compare the ranges of their vehicles. And in New Zealand and Australia, this means reasonable, moderate speed driving, but not fast driving. So in some places we have those motorways where you can drive 110 kilometers per hour. It's not that. This is normal driving around town and driving on normal highways at normal ordinary speeds. So operating speeds of most highways in New Zealand are somewhere around 85 to 95 kilometers per hour, not 100 or 110. So I'm just making that clear. That's what that really means. It also means you have to drive smoothly and consistently, not all fast and slow and brakes and fast and slow like some people seem to drive. So here's some locations we can charge. New Zealand has a really good charging network. This is ChargeNet, and you can pay for these charges by using a credit card and a cell phone app, but you can also get little key tags that you put on your keys that activate the charges, so you don't need to mess around with a cell phone app or muck about. You don't pay at the charger with a credit card, you pay for it in the app. So you set up your account in the app one day and then you go out and use it. So that's how charging works, and I presume in Australia it's going to be the same. So in New Zealand, you'll be able to drive these vans basically everywhere, except you won't be able to drive the short range one currently from Hokitika past Haast and down to Wanaka. It's not going to make that range. That's what I would think. That's far too far without any charges. There's a couple of mountain passes that might be a little bit tricky, but the road that goes from Christchurch over to Hokitika and Westport, that would be fine. There's quite a few charges along that mountain pass. All around Central Otago, Southland, up and down the coast, State Highway 1, that's really good. In North Island, there's a gap in the charger network between New Plymouth and Waitoma Caves. There's a place called Mokau, which has a little white diamond on it, and there's planned to be a charger there, but that's been planned for years and it's still not built because there's just a small village there, and it's difficult to get a good place, and the charging network's having problems just getting that done. You're about to drive this everywhere else. Now, there might be a few places, like that road that goes from New Plymouth over to Tamaranui, that there's no charges on that road. So there's a few places that are tricky. And then I'll give you a view for Australia. In Australia, you have charging, but your network's split across the country because you can't drive from the west coast to the east coast. And that means that while this might be good if you're in Perth or down in the southwest corner of the country, that's great. If you're over on the eastern side, it's also fine. And there's just some more detail of where DC charges are in orange, and green charges is slow charges, and I'll show you how long that will take in a screen coming up. So yeah, if you live in these areas, there's some roadside charges that you can just activate and use, much like using a petrol station. And then up and down the Queensland coast, there's also a good charger network that you would better make those distances in either of these van models. And when you charge, fast charging a car battery, they tend to slow down when you pass 80% full, and that's because when the battery is almost full, it's just difficult for the machine to cram more power into it. And that means that you don't normally charge to 100%. You normally charge to 80%, move on, find another charger and charge to 80% there. So the 80% range is what's quite important. And so I've put roughly the amount of time that I calculate it would take and the cost in New Zealand dollars. These are using these public high-speed car chargers. And what's more? Oh yeah, so the plug socket. So this vehicle has CCS connectors. Now I think it's a single phase CCS, which means that it's got two parts to the charger. There's an AC part that can go up to 7 kilowatts, I expect. Now I couldn't find any details to actually find that number, but 7 kilowatts is normal for most electric vehicles. And then on the DC charging, the charging network in Australia and New Zealand, almost all the chargers are 50 kilowatts, so I've put 50 kilowatts. The CCS chargers can charge vehicles faster than 50 kilowatts, but most cars don't go faster than 50 kilowatts, so that's why I've just put 50 kilowatt in there. And if you're going to charge this at home or at work, so this is just where you got AC electricity and you can charge it, and this is just, I did a table to calculate how long it would take for the charging times. Now, electric cars can use a plug-in charger that just plugs into a regular wall outlet, and almost all electric cars, when you buy one, will come with one of those kinds of connectors. But the manufacturers don't often recommend that to be the primary way to charge a car. And in reality, you can use it as the main way to charge your car if you don't drive very far. But if you have a very long commute or you tend to use up most of the battery each day, you won't get enough time overnight to charge on that kind of cable. So at that point, you have to go to a special wall charger which permanently mounts to the wall and is installed by an electrician. So I made this table so that you could get an idea of how long it would take to charge. Now, the important thing is that the way people usually use electric vehicles is to just plug them in at night overnight. And so you just need to work out how long will the vehicle be plugged in versus how far do you drive it each day, and that will tell you how long you really need to charge it overnight. So most people at home stay at home for, most people sleep for about 8 hours a day. So as long as you can get your car charged in less than 8 hours, that's normally fine. And so made this table just so that you'll understand what kind of estimates of charging time you would expect. But yeah, practically to use this for a work vehicle, you would probably have to get a permanently installed charger to get it to charge effectively overnight if you use the whole capacity of the battery each day.